Hello, my friends. Welcome back to this channel and to this mini talk about the contemplative prayer. And today, in let's say step 7, we want to talk about what will happen in our psyche when we commit to this path. So, first thing is that the daily practice of contemplative prayer will over time bring up everything which is buried in our souls. So it's like a purging process, and it's the Holy Word which will guide us through this whole process. And it's about us to really commit to the practice again and again and wait what will unfold. So, whatever will show up in your psyche, the main rule is leave it as it is. Just observe it. Don't analyze it. Don't dive into it, but just allow it to be and let it slowly fade away. So, you are not what you are observing, but you are the one who does observe. That's this inner step backward, and it's what I described as sitting on the edge of the river and, let's say, watching all these boats float by on the river of your consciousness. So if you are coming to a place of peace or joy or any other beautiful experience, it's about just allowing it, even enjoying it, but not going into it, analyzing it, jumping onto the boat, but just allowing it to be and allowing it to dissolve after the time meant. And that's everything we have to do. Of course, we are all so hungry for these experiences of peace, joy, bliss, but it's not ours to decide if or when they will happen. And the same goes for the so-called heavy feelings like anxiety, depression, sadness, anger, rage, whatever shows up. We just sit there, allow it, and observe it as long as it takes. And of course, sometimes this can take weeks or months or even years, and the same stuff shows up again and again. But over time, it will pass, it will fade. That's sure. And yeah, and that's the whole thing. The whole process is like a spiral. You come back to the same places again and again, but every time on a slightly higher level with a little more, let's say, perspective, a little more of this observing mind, and a little less dragged into things. So, in the very beginning, things which come up tend to be quite intense, perhaps. It feels like a big wave coming into your direction, and it's only human to feel some sort of anxiety. What will happen to me? Will I drown in that? And all these questions will arise. But I assure you that the Holy Spirit knows exactly what you can handle, and He or she won't put more onto your shoulders than you can bear. You can really trust in that. And if it gets too intense, of course, you can go for guidance or even help in different ways. Perhaps we will come to that again later. If such a wave, let's say, crashes over you, throws you onto the beach, maybe you will have to, let's say, swallow some salt water, and it won't feel so nice, but you will survive and stand up, brush off all the sand and spit out the salt water and go into the practice again. And over time, it gets better and better, easier and easier, and you get stronger. And even in the very end, you will be able to enjoy it, or to put it like that, to take your little surfboard, swim out into the waves, and at a certain point, jump onto the board and surf such a wave without, let's say, being scared, but enjoying the whole thing, the whole ride. So, Holy Spirit is doing a kind of cleaning job within us. We don't have to do anything. We just allow and sit there in silence, and things will unfold quite naturally. And this is a very beautiful thing, but it takes commitment and patience, as we have said before. But as soon as there is enough space in our consciousness, the next thing, the next old feeling, or perhaps even traumatic experience will show up, and we are given the chance to digest it, not by analyzing it, not by thinking about it, but by allowing it and feeling the feelings which, let's say, show up. And if we really go through them, then they will leave us forever. And there will be, let's say, a little more space within our soul for the more beautiful stuff to unfold. So be assured that God or the Holy Spirit knows exactly what to do, and we don't have to care about it. It's not our business. And even if difficult stuff comes up, you should not think, oh my gosh, I'm a wreck or a disaster. That's just not true. What is happening is that God brings in a lot of light into your being. And it's like you have swept the floor of your apartment. It looks quite clean, but if you take, let's say, a light and really shine it onto the floor, you will still see some remaining dirt or dust. And that's what happens. So it's just that Spirit brings up things which you did not notice before committing to this practice. So let the whole process unfold, let Spirit clean your psyche, and trust that it will only bring you into more peace, more compassion, and a more beautiful state of being, because Spirit is bringing in more light. If there are any blocks within our psyche, they will show up over time, and if we just sit there, they will just unfold themselves and after a while dissolve, and love and compassion can then unfold more easily because there is more space within us. Yes, and if you allow all this old stuff and memories to surface, and when you are brave enough to really feel this stuff in a loving and compassionate way, they will leave forever when you have gone through them. And this is a promise. So, contemplative prayer really leads quite naturally to a sort of transformation of our psyche. And there will be more peace, more joy, more love within you. And this is growing over time. But the secret is all these beautiful states were there from the very beginning, but buried under many layers of, let's say, feelings and experiences and conditioning. And those are removed in the process. And as soon as they are, love can flow quite naturally. So I hope that this was helpful for you guys. Next time we dive in even deeper into the whole process, and I hope that you liked it. If you did or do, just give me a thumbs up or subscribe to the channel, and I will be happy to see you again next time. Thank you so much, my friends.